I want to share with you one thing that prevents your wife from leaving. And look, I get it. Saying your wife will stick around if you do just one thing sounds pretty out there. And hey, look, you're a thinking guy. It's natural to be skeptical about claims like these. But I want you to stick with me, man, because we're not diving into the usual better communication or understanding emotions spiel. Nor are we talking about rebuilding trust or stepping up as the man to make her smile. We're not doing any of that this time. Sure, those are crucial and you can learn about them in other videos on our channel, but what we're about to explore digs even deeper. It's about a foundational skill, often overlooked, that props up everything else. If you miss out on this, and the whole house of cards will then come tumbling down. I've helped over hundreds of guys this past year alone facing all sorts of issues. From their wives needing space, feeling no love or trust, to trust issues themselves, and even competing with another guy. But underneath, it always comes back to this one missing piece. Now, without it, a guy can end up wandering from one relationship to another, clueless about what's really going on with her, lost in regrets and yearning for a connection that seems just out of reach. But you're the kind of guy who faces challenges head on. So today, we're cracking open this skill with science, vivid metaphors, and a story about a guy who turned his marriage around by mastering it. So let's dive in. And stick around till the end because I've got a special script to share word for word that could be your ace in the hole when she's talking divorce. It's all about leveraging this key skill. Are you ready? Let's do it. Now, Kevin's story might resonate with you here. You see, he's a dad who was there but not really present. He was battling alcoholism while his mum was the real pillar of strength. You see, growing up under such circumstances, Kevin learned to lean heavily into a desire to please, embodying what he felt was a more feminine archetype. And that was due to the absence of his father's influence. He actually once confided in me saying, "Tom, I believe I'm a decent guy, but sometimes I'm at a loss on how to show it." You see, Kevin's determination saw him rising to the top, becoming a leader of the fire chief department, a role he excelled in alongside being a father to 3 children with his wife. However, the curveball came when, after a minor disagreement, his wife blindsided him with a conversation he never saw coming. She said this to him. I remember it really well. She said, "Kevin, you're an incredible dad and truly one of my closest friends, but the spark isn't there anymore. I'm lost. I'm unsure of what I want and I need some space." Now you can imagine how this left Kevin in turmoil, struggling to grasp the reality of his situation. His inner circle rallied around him, quick to blame his wife, suggesting she was the one at fault. Yet Kevin chose not to latch onto these external excuses. Instead, he embarked on a profound journey of self-exploration. Despite everyone saying his wife had lost it, Kevin looked inward. He actually realized that regardless of all the logical reasons for their union, something was amiss. Upon reflection, Kevin acknowledged that he wasn't embodying the man that he once was, the man his wife was initially attracted to. You see, this admission set him on a path to transformation, eventually leading him to work with me. So let's dive into what I shared with Kevin, okay, to bring his wife closer to him than ever before. We're talking about reigniting that spark, more passion, deeper emotional bonds, and intimacy like they'd never experienced. And at the heart of all of this is something that I call intimate authority. It's what underpins those tough conversations when a wife says she's fallen out of love, lacks passion, or doesn't feel attracted anymore. Here's the real deal, man. So behind those words, what she's really saying, she's saying, "You're not the same man I fell in love with. You had a zest for life, ambition. You were all in. In trying to be a great husband, you put your own joy on the back burner. You sacrificed your own happiness for the family. But you see, I was attracted to that happiness, that hunger for life. It was a thrilling adventure to be with you in the beginning. Where have you gone? Where's my husband gone?" Here's the thing. There are fundamental truths in romantic relationships, specifically about what she needs. Now, despite the overload of online articles simplifying this to alpha versus beta, it's much more nuanced. It's about being her protector and her provider. And providing isn't just about financial support. That's important for sure. But she's also craving emotional stability, security, commitment, and trust. These traits of a provider on a deeper emotional level aren't taught by dads, schools, or anywhere really. But my research tells me that embodying these qualities is critical. Otherwise, she'll feel an absence, a void, and that makes her question being with you. To put it bluntly, a woman's decision to stay hinges on how you make her feel. Now, if you're not meeting these emotional and physical needs, she might just look elsewhere. It's as straightforward as that. Now, I want to unpack a fascinating study that suggests that when women climb higher on the social ladder than their male partners, it actually might stir up some turbulence in their romantic lives. Bringing Kevin's story into this discussion really ties it all together. You see, despite earning more, Kevin's appeal to his wife wasn't just about the paycheck. It was his drive, his willingness to face fears, and his continuous effort to improve. Qualities that exude competence, confidence, high status, all that stuff. But when his wife started outpacing him in terms of status and prestige, the spark began to dim. Now, data shows that couples where the woman earns more than half the household income tend to report less happiness in their marriage. Now, while the study mainly zeroes in on financial aspects, it's crucial to remember that contributions to a relationship go far beyond just money. And whilst I do think that traditional stereotypes about what a man should be and what he should do play a role in these kind of strange findings, the main point here is that money is only one measure of value and competence. There's a whole spectrum of value that partners can bring to the table. But value is the point here. You see, imagine if Kevin was making less than half of what his wife was earning, and yet he was killing it with his painting, right? He was getting after it, waking up early, focusing on his health and well-being, all to paint a little better every day. And then he sells his first painting and it all goes up from there. His value in the relationship isn't about his financial earnings, but his presence, his ambition, his contribution to the emotional connection, and his willingness to put it all on the line for his purpose and mission, which is his painting. That's a man his wife wants to be around and hop into bed with. Now, being the protector is about being a calm, assertive leader. Leading your relationship isn't about controlling or forcing. And remember, by definition, you can only lead if someone wants to be led. And for men, embodying this form of healthy masculinity can lead to a much more harmonious dynamic, where the woman feels more inclined to embrace her femininity. But for now, let's get down to brass tacks. So far, we've covered the concept of intimate authority and what it means to carry yourself with high status, because that's how you see yourself. Now, I'm going to walk you through some actionable steps to help you embody this in your daily life. Imagine we're kicking off a bit of a self-check exercise, kind of like homework if we were working together. I've got a list here, right? 33 characteristics to be exact. Here's what I want you to do. As I go through each trait, I want you to take a moment to honestly answer with a yes or no. If it's a yes, give yourself a point. Once we're through, tally up your score out of 33. You ready to dive in? Let's go. Do you infuse your interactions with vibrant energy? Are you the one ensuring her overall well-being? Do you foster a supportive and safe space for her without pressuring her to change? Are you the architect of her sense of security? Do you offer her more than just financial support? Do you proactively seek ways to enhance her life? Are you taking initiative in your relationship? Do you remain accessible for her moments of need? Are you the initiator of positive changes and actions? Do you adopt an active role rather than a passive one in your interactions? Are you her shield, protecting her from harm, both physically and emotionally? Do you perform acts of kindness like door opening or ensuring her walk is on the safer side of the sidewalk? Are you consistently offering her your fullest present attention? Do you celebrate important milestones and make her feel cherished? Are you in tune with her emotional and mental needs, acting accordingly? Do you relieve her burdens without waiting for her to ask? Are you planning the details of your dates together? Do you handle the logistics of your life together? Do you take the initiative to mend the relationship when things go awry? Are you diligently working to fulfill her needs? Do you explore external solutions to satisfy her needs? Are you physically present, especially during her difficult times? Do you ensure she feels safe and protected from harm? Are you giving her your undivided attention during conversations? Do you communicate openly and listen deeply to her? Are you committed to her happiness and well-being? Do you prioritize her pleasure in your relationship? Are you decisive, making choices that benefit the both of you? Are you accountable for your actions and their impacts? Do you identify her needs and actively work to meet them? Are you committed to resolving your personal issues for the health of the relationship? Do you establish healthy boundaries that support her growth? Are you helping her confront and overcome her internal challenges without withdrawing your support? If you've found yourself ticking off less than 66% of these consistently, it might shed some light on why there's been distance growing between you two. Now, it's not about perfection, of course, but it is about being present, proactive, and deeply connected in ways that truly matter to her. So you might be wondering, how on earth am I supposed to remember all this stuff? Well, keeping these things in mind, I know it seems like a tall order, right? But let's talk about something here called empowering stewardship. Now, this is a concept I actually picked up from Teal Swan. You should definitely check her out for more insight. You see, empowering stewardship essentially means stepping into your roles as her guardian and provider with confidence, embodying the qualities of what some might call the ultimate male. It's about taking positive ownership. Now, this mindset is a game changer because it naturally helps you weed out the negative habits and replace them with constructive behaviors. So I want you to think about the different hats that you wear in life. For instance, at work, whether you're the boss or an employee, you don't constantly second guess every action or word. That's because you've internalized what it means to be good in your role, understanding the do's and don'ts almost instinctively. Similarly, embracing the principles of empowering stewardship makes navigating your needs and your responsibilities seamless, almost automatic. It's about knowing the playbook so well that the right moves come naturally to you. All right, now, as promised, I'm going to let you in on exactly what to say to your wife, or any woman really, when she's considering a divorce. Now, this gem actually came straight from a post in our Facebook group. That's actually the beauty of our community within the program. We got fellas sharing their victories and their exact words they used verbatim. They're wonderful men. So here's what one guy said in response to his wife dropping the D word. And keep in mind, this strategy stems from embodying that concept of intimate authority we talked about. Now, when you deliver these words, you've got to do it with utter self-assurance, unbeatable confidence, and crystal clear clarity. You've said you feel certain that divorce is the best option moving forward. I equally feel certain that leaning in and giving it everything I've got and then some really is the best, and I can only function within my half of our marriage. In order for us to both honor each other's feelings, I have to embrace being okay with you choosing to walk away, while you allow me the freedom to navigate my half of our marriage. According to you, I've already lost you. So if that really is true, the way I see it is I have literally nothing left to lose. And that being said, I choose to go all in and to fight the best fight for our marriage that I possibly can. You deserve that. And our children deserve an example of a father who would do that for their mother. You are free in every way to choose what you feel is best for you. You have my love and my support, and those will never change. That being said, I choose to remain immovable in defending our marriage within the half that I still represent. You are entirely and completely free to file on your own. You are fiercely independent, wise, and capable, and I know that if you choose it, you really felt that it was the best option available to you. You're the only one that can walk through that door for you. Only you can choose what is genuinely best for you. I choose to stay the course that I've set out for myself with the work I have ahead of me, and I invite you to take time and space whilst I support you from a distance. I'm always here for you. I cannot be an equal partner in what you ultimately end up choosing for you within your half of the marriage. I choose to lead, and I invite you to observe at a distance the changes I'm making in my half of our marriage and within the relationship. In the same way that you want freedom to leave, I want the freedom to fight for you in the way that you truly deserve. You deserve an unshakable man, no matter where the shaking is coming from. Right now, your shaking is largely the result of my doings and my undoings. Your sadness is the product of my absence, and I'm so sorry. I'm doing everything I can to be present, to listen, and to hold space for all of your feelings. I will never leave or abandon you, no matter what. Divorce doesn't align with my half of our marriage that rests on my shoulders. Even if there's only a tiny shred of a possibility of reconciliation for us, I feel that's more than enough, and that is more than worth fighting for. And hey man, if this hits close to home and you're thinking, I could use some guidance on how to communicate with my wife effectively and authentically and really cultivate that intimate authority, then don't hesitate to reach out. There's a link right below this video to schedule a call with our team. But here's the deal. Please click that link only if you're truly ready to dive deep into saving your marriage, ready to own up to your part in where things stand. Now, if you're committed to becoming the man that you know you can be, this is your chance. I'll 100% be waiting to welcome you, all right? And if you're not quite there yet, no worries at all. I want you to check out this video right here to get some tips on turning things around on your own, all right? Either way, I look forward to catching up with you next time, all right? See you, mate.